What would you say is the most misunderstood thing about you and your disability?
That I am cognitively different. I think to people, I look that I'm not all there, but I really am.
If you could send one message to the whole world, what would that message be?
Be mindful of the people in which that are different. And if you meet somebody who is, in fact, different, just be kind.
Could you introduce your dad?
My dad is one of my role models, and I love him very much.
What is it about your dad that you admire?
He, a very kind man. Yeah, definitely, yes. He does not pay attention, but I think he really does mean well.
Tell me about how your dad helps you with communicating.
He's one of the best translators that I have. He understands me very well. And when he helps me talk to people, like now.
When you are helping Lincoln communicate, are you listening to what he says or are you reading his lips?
I am doing a mix of both because I want to hear how he's saying certain things, but it's reading his lips. I try not to predict, like our phones like to predict for us. I don't want to do that. I want him to speak for himself. He just needs a little help, just like the ventilator, right? Sometimes you need help with the breath, but you aren't the ventilator, right? So I want to do the same with his voice. But yes, I certainly listen to see how he says something. I think it's important, for sure, that I want his voice to be center stage. I think it's really important that I don't interject my own thoughts or opinions, because I think it's very easy for me to try and help and buffer and give him some help with what he's trying to say. But I think for his own experience in life, I know I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want somebody trying to enforce their own opinion into my life. So I think for me and him, my role is more of saying exactly what he's saying and the way that he's saying it, because that's who he is. And I think that allows him to have more of a presence and really a voice at the table.
Do you appreciate that?
Definitely, very much so. I love him. I love you too, honey.
Tell me about your relationship with your parents.
I love them very, very dearly. And they just really loving to me. They're really loving to me. They're the best parents I could ever ask for.
Tell me all about your mom, Lincoln.
Oh boy. My mom is a very strong-willed woman. And yes, she has anxiety, but she gets through it very well.
How would you describe Lincoln?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think I would describe Lincoln and I don't know if you would agree, but he is my best friend. And he and I are extremely, deeply, deeply close, very close. We like to use the metaphor of like a pool. And there's the kiddie pool part where you can get in and you're just kind of wading in and it's nice and shallow, or you can go to the deep end. Me and Lincoln live on the deep end of the love. We are very, very, very connected, very, very just in tandem, in sync with one another. And I think, I don't know, Lincoln, how would you describe it? You would describe it exactly like I did. We are best friends, and we are in sync. Yes, and we always say, no matter what, we will always be together. That's right.
What is your disability?
X-linked myotubular myopathy. It is a condition in which the muscles are very weak and can't walk, can't run, pretty much anything physical cannot do.
Can you tell me a little bit about your breathing machine?
Well, over there is a ventilator, and it essentially literally pushes air through my trach and into my lungs.
Can you still be happy when you have a disability that causes you to spend most of your time in bed?
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. You can definitely be happy.
What keeps you happy?
Honestly, good people who really care for me.
I want to say we are best friends, and it is always going to be that way.
I love that, Lincoln.
You're my best friend.
If you had one wish, what would you wish for?
A new shower. He's laughing. Yeah. I really do need a new shower because I've been starting to take showers and it is too small for me because I can't stand up. I only lay down and my feet touch the wall.
Is bathing something that your parents and nurses help you with?
Yes. Mostly my parents.
What is your biggest hope for how other people treat Lincoln?
I think my biggest hope for how other people treat Lincoln is to have an open mind. You never know who you're talking to. You cannot judge a book by its cover. And I mean that in the truest sense of the word. You really cannot look at somebody and just make snap decisions about who you think they may be. And if you do take that little bit of time to get to know who it is that you're talking to, you will reap so much more joy and reward finding that connection point. And so I think when people meet Lincoln, I want them to have an open heart and an open mind and to say, hello, You can start with just that. Hello.
I want to sit where we can make eye contact, so tell me where you can see me.
To make eye contact, you have to be like right here. Well, I can turn his head a bit. How about that? That's good enough? You're too far that way?
So what about like right here?
Yes.
Lincoln, it's really good to be here with you today.
You as well.
I would love to be close friends with you. If somebody wants to be your good friend, what should they do first?
What you normally do, say hello. They just say hi to me. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I know. I'm very proud of you.
What did
He
you
just
say?
said, I did this.
Can you tell that story, Lincoln, of how you reached out to me to make this happen?
Yeah. So I literally forced my mom to invite you. Email you because I was very I'm trying to think of the word. Inspired by you paying attention to our community.
Does it mean a lot to you when people are actually active listeners and accommodating?
Definitely. Yes. And I really like you.
I really like you too.
Thanks.
Why did you want to share your story today?
Well, number one, I wanted to meet you. Number two, I wanted to be on your channel. And number three, I wanted to tell people about me.
How can you tell if somebody is going to be an accepting and inclusive and kind friend?
To pay attention to the fact that I am not different mentally, but physically. And I am different physically, but to me, that doesn't really matter because I'm like everybody else.
Tell me about some of your interests.
Well, I love Minecraft, Roblox as well, and YouTube, and hanging out with people, and having conversations. Question.
Yes.
Before I forget, do you have a good work-life balance?
That is a great question. And I love that you asked me that. Not many 11-year-olds have asked me if I have a good work-life balance. But I will say that I'm filming these videos, and I know that you're a fan of the videos, so you might be interested in how my life is outside of filming them. The first 6 to 7 years, I did not have a good work-life balance, just because I was trying to learn how to tackle it all with the travel and the interviewing. But over the past 2 to 3 years, I've learned the importance of having time for family, friends, and hobbies, and that if I want to film these videos for a long time and keep meeting cool people like you, I have to have that healthy work-life balance so that I can keep a fresh perspective.
Because you don't want to burn out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt burnout in your life?
No, but I have heard of it many times, many times.
How do you go to school? Do you do it here or do you go somewhere?
Here. I do it right here.
What type of things are you learning right now?
Math, science, reading, a little bit of writing. And, you know, it's funny. I hate reading, writing, but I love math and science.
Do you do school online or is it something that your parents help you with?
Actually, neither one of those. My teacher comes to the house and teaches me personally.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you like school? What type of care do you require?
24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. People help me with life. And I really appreciate that.
Lincoln, tell me about your nurse.
Well, she is one of the kindest people I've ever met. I have known her for a year, over a year, and we've become friends over that period of time. Really good friends over that period of time.
Do you want me to translate from over here?
If you can, yeah, that would be awesome.
You are super sweet. You know that. I love you too. You're very sweet.
You've learned to translate for Lincoln?
Yeah, so I don't know why, but I can read his lips pretty well, which is a problem we sometimes have with a lot of people. So I'm very grateful because it expands, I can take care of him a little better because of it. And we can kind of have a closer relationship like that, which is nice.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Probably a few months. Not very long. Right? I don't think it was very long.
Lincoln, what is it like to have a nurse who can read your lips?
I am grateful. I really am grateful.
Do you have a nurse here with you 24/7?
Well, most of the time.
What type of things do nurses help you with?
Suctioning, changing, feeding me, moving me, pretty much everything.
You mentioned how you like deep conversations and that you think a lot. Is that partly because you spend a lot of time just thinking when you're in bed?
Yes. When I wake up in the morning, I don't tell people right away. I just think about stuff.
What kind of things do you think about?
Yesterday, I was thinking about a new potential nurse.
I think that it is extremely important to love and care for your family. And They will always be there for you. That's right. No matter what. That's right. We do have like some, nursing turnover where we'll have nurses come in and they're really, really great and excellent. And then they, have to move on to their next role. Just like the nurse that he has today. Yes, the nurse that he has today is moving next month to New York to take care of her grandmother. But Lincoln has just a very, very close bond with her. But one of the things that we always try to remember is no matter who comes and goes, so to speak, the nucleus is always me, him, and his dad, and that we will always be here.
Is that something you've stressed even at an early age?
Yes. I wanted him to know that our family unit was the one thing that was going to remain constant. No matter what happened around us externally, we, the three of us, were going to stay super, super connected and in sync with one another.
Lincoln, tell me about how your bed is here in the living room so you can be with your family.
Well, I have been in the center of my house for 7 years, almost. Say that again. I have been here since I was 4. So,
Why is it important for you to be in the middle of the house?
well, I don't want to be locked in a room with a nurse. And I want to be out in the open with a lot of people.
I love how kind you and your entire family are.
In fact, most of my nurses say I have the best parents in the whole entire world.
Do you agree with most of your nurses?
Yes, I do.
What are some things that make your parents the best parents in the world?
They're just really kind and loving. Very, very loving.
Has that impacted the way that you see the world?
I feel like I am more kind and loving.
I noticed that when I was a teacher that if I led with positivity and kindness, then the children would treat each other with that as well. But if I was stressed and anxious, then that would kind of be contagious to them.
I definitely believe that. My mom says that. Say that one more time. God speaks many languages.
What does that mean? How would you describe that further?
Well, she never really explained it, but my perspective is if you're Christian or Jewish, whatever you are or you can be, God will always love you.
Tell me about the muscle movement you have in your body. I see you move your hands a little bit. Is there anything else you're able to move?
Well, can I help him?
Yeah.
I do have some muscle in my arm. Oh, if I can put my fingers up. 2. This one, not so much. And if I put my arms down, then I'm not able to move them or put them back up.
So your parents will help you put your arms up?
Yes. My nurses too.
Why don't you tell Mr. Chris what you make me do when I try and do your hand exercises? I have to try and get him to do his PT, and sometimes he doesn't want to do it. So then he does this weird quid pro quo with me, and what do you make me do? Squats. He will make me, so if he has to do PT and I tell him, all right, it's time to do your PT, he's like, okay, it's time for you to do some squats then. So as many reps as he does for his PT, I have to squat. And this is just, it's that type of relationship. Because, listen, I don't want to be the only one to exercise. My mom has to exercise too. Okay? Yes.
Why do you have to do hand exercises? What does that help you with?
Ooh. These fingers on the left hand cannot open very well. And actually, I will show you the only thing that can help with my fingers open. Yes. Sure. So I take his fingers and I press them down to wake them up, because they like to do this sometimes and go to sleep, is what I call it. So I wake them up, and then I can help left hand very carefully. Try to engage. Hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Just like that. So instead of left hand being like this, we have to practice opening our fingers and holding them out. That way he can use his phone.
Does
Stay
it
really
take
flexible.
Does it take a lot of concentration and effort to hold your hand up like that?
A lot. A lot.
Lincoln, is it okay if I ask your dad questions about your diagnosis and what it was like when you were first diagnosed?
That's fine.
How would you describe Lincoln's diagnosis?
I would describe it as a overall muscle weakness
Was he diagnosed in utero, or is it something you discovered after he was born?
in utero. Actually, his family on his mom's side has some history with it, and we were caught. We were really worried. We were first told that we were going to have a girl. It doesn't affect girls in this way. They can be carriers, but don't present in this way. But we found out he was a boy, and we definitely needed to make sure. And we did it as fast as we could, and we found out in utero.
You know, when Lincoln was first born, doctors said that they didn't think he would live to be the age of 1. And, you know, there's a lot of feelings there. They had brought in the palliative care team, and we had a lot of different conversations. And ultimately, I told them all to go away and leave the room. And I said, I want to give Lincoln as much support as possible and give him the best chance at success. And within a couple of months, he was already doing things that doctors said he wouldn't be able to do. And now fast forward, he just turned 11. He has an amazing group of friends in the neighborhood. He's doing excellent in school. He does his physical therapy. He does speech therapy. He's working with his rabbi because in 2 years he's going to bar mitzvah. So he's future planning. He's just really, really living life to the fullest. And I couldn't be more proud of that. And I think a lot of that chutzpah, like that, the verve, is what gets us through.
Do you have a lot of friends your age who come over and spend time with you?
Yes. I actually have 6 friends in the neighborhood, and one of which is my best friend, Maddie, who I love dearly, and I've known for almost 2 years. She does not pay attention very well, but she is very loving and very mindful of my disability, even though she doesn't even really talk about it. And I love that. And she even said, my disability does not change anything between us. And I truly love that.
What advice do you have for other dads out there who might be at the beginning of their journey of parenting a child with a disability?
Definitely take care of their medical, but you are a father. You are a dad, and it's really important that you infuse your love. Love is the healer. It is the glue. It is everything. And I think that, yes, this life can be extremely stressful, can be extremely chaotic, but you cannot lose the fact that they are your child. And I think if you're just starting out, get your bearings, get your feet planted on the ground, and be there for your child, no matter what. Love them. That's because they're the ones that have to go through this. It's you are a caregiver, and caregivers have stress and they have their own issues. But for example, I'm not in Lincoln's shoes, but I certainly want to put them on him and help him.
Tell me about some of the important things your parents have taught you.
My father has taught me how to be a man, and my mom has taught me how to be emotionally intelligent, but that's both of them. Remember, the one thing that you've always said and you love is that I had taught you that you need to be kind to yourself because no one else will be kind for you, right? I do love that.
Was there a time in your life where you weren't so kind to yourself?
Sometimes I do something, and sometimes something is really hard because I have MTM, and then I feel like I'm not strong, you know.
What did your dad tell you about that type of feeling?
Always be kind to yourself because nobody will be kind for you.
What advice do you have for a person out there who has a disability and is having a hard time accepting themselves?
Be kind to yourself, just like my father said, because nobody will be kind for you.
Why is it so important for you to lead with kindness?
Because I think kindness is very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. And you have to treat people how you want to be treated.
When somebody meets you for the first time, what do you hope they think?
I hope that they think I'm just a normal person, just a little bit different. And yeah, that's pretty much all.
What was it like to share your story on camera today?
I feel very honored. I really do.
And I'm honored I get to meet you too. It has been an amazing day spending time with you and getting to know you. You're an awesome person. And I'm just happy we got to spend this time together.
Yeah. I really can't believe I met you today. And he's laughing.
I think the one thing that I want to express without getting too emotional is just how much I absolutely appreciate you, Chris, and the work that you do to amplify these voices, because it does make a difference. When Lincoln started watching you 6 months ago, 7 months ago, he was enamored. He was so excited. And when I saw the videos he was watching, I was like, oh, I have seen this same guy. And I recall being very early on in motherhood. I had just had Lincoln. We were at home. We've got a ventilator. We've got a feeding tube. We have a suction machine. We have DME supplies, durable medical equipment supplies everywhere. I have no idea what I'm doing. And that time was really unknown. It was uncharted territory. And I happened to come across one of your YouTube videos. I think it was literally in 2015 or 2016. And I remember as a mother how much that gave me wind beneath my wings to see somebody so kind connecting to others on their level and really like spreading that message of hope, joy, and love and positivity. And that gave me hope for my future as a mom and the world and that he's going to grow up in. And so I think I just, I couldn't finish today without saying thank you for everything that you've done for people with disabilities, parent and not a parent. The work that you do means more than you could ever know, not only for people with disabilities, but for those that care for people with disabilities. So thank you so much for all of the work that you do.
That means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's the exact reason we film these videos.
We both love you very much.
When somebody finishes watching this video, what is the number one thing you hope they remember from it?
That always remember that everybody is different and that is okay.